Mic check. All right. Cam check. Wait, isn't he in prison? Who? Mystical? Oh, Mia. Wait, what's Pig doing here? It says Mystical got out in 19. All right. What up? What up, y'all? So, what's the outside doing here? I'm trying to figure out what I really want to do, because like I don't. Tonight it's just kind of just chilling with y'all. I don't really have much. I was gonna switch up my build a little bit to try to alchemical admixture random arrows thing, but I also don't want to mess up my my character copy, I guess. That makes sense. Because like I'm gonna copy my most recent character, so I can just jump right in and like test the new random arrows or whatever. With like maybe one or two skill changes, and that's it. But I'll be checking out PoE 2 early access. Yeah. Yep. Of course. I have every intent on doing so. But yep, this Friday I'll be blasting with everyone else. Difference is I'm kind of going in blind. So like what I mean by that is that I really didn't play much Path of Exile 1 at all. Like the last time I played it was like 6 years ago. And even then I only have like maybe 200 hours into the game. So I'm not really like watching videos or anything on the game itself. Like I might watch a stream here and here or there. Like I might tune in to Woody Joe's stream just because I just like hanging with Woody. Maybe that mods every now and then or whatnot. But like, outside of that, I'm not looking at videos or trying to come up with a pre-made build of anything. I'm literally going in pretty blind and just pretty much YOLO, I guess, learning on the fly. Suge Knight, yeah. About that. How about no? You're on your own on that one. You were definitely on your own on that one. Yeah, let me know how that goes for you from beyond the grave. Paragon 300 done. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I had no intent on reaching 300. Cause you don't gain anything from it, or for me it would just be more dexterity, and that wasn't enough of a. That was not enough of a motivation to grind at 300. It's a sickness. Well, I mean, I know. I know some people really like to chase the achievement stuff. So I mean that makes sense, right? I just never really been about that life, the achievement life. Thankfully, I've never really been about that. Well, I would say probably like the old action RPGs, yeah. From like back in the day. I was like that, or like platformers like Mario 64, like those games or whatever. I would try to 100% those, but yeah, lately I haven't really been about that life at all. Hell, even in Diablo 3, I would never like finish the seasonal journey or whatever ever. Me Pockets, what's up, man? How we doing? Honestly, much of nothing. Just chilling. I'm probably gonna only play D4 for about maybe an hour, roughly, unless I get involved with just some juicy a Diablo talk of some sort. But I think I might play some Dynasty Warriors tonight. But just the demo though, not the full game. I haven't played Dynasty Warriors in like decades. Ever played any Metrovanias? No. I have not. I guess the idea is for me to kind of expand out just in case I end up not liking Path of Exile 2, for example. I think I might end up doing more Monster Hunter stuff if that becomes the case. Like if for whatever reason, you know, I played for about a couple of weeks of Path of Exile 2 early access or whatever, and I found myself, you know, me not liking it for whatever reason. I want something else to kind of like, you know, fall back on. Is there a direct link to my build? Yes. Exclamation mark build. I didn't get the I didn't finish him off in the third stagger. Mm. 5% chances. There we go. You do you. Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. I mean, I've always been that way. Anyways. I've always been that way anyways. I play the way I want. Well, I will say that I did kind of pigeonhole myself in Diablo 3, where I felt like I kind of had to play a certain way. Because I was chasing leaderboard ranks and stuff. So, but that's kind of how my brand started out. Like people got just to know me from, you know, from for streaming or whatever, because of my Demon Hunter rank world clears or whatever. Usually I would do it with like less Paragon than most people that I was competing against. So that was another thing, and like maybe half the toughness too. So, but there were times where I didn't want to do it, and it was really hard to like pivot out of it, because that's what people came to kind of see. That, and of course the chill vibes, but it was one of the two. So like every night I would be like, "Are you pushing? Are you pushing tonight? You pushing tonight? You going to go for the clear night?" I'm like, "No, I'm just I'm just trying to farm. I'm just trying to farm, man. I'm just trying to farm, chill farm. Get some better gear stuff, chill to the chat. And it was just kind of like sometimes it'll be rough because everybody's like, "Yo, go get your rank 1 back or something." I'm like, nah, I don't care right now, right? But it's hard though because once you start becoming popular, or not popular, but once people start recognizing you for a certain thing, you kind of get stuck into it, right? And I've told myself in Diablo 4 that I wouldn't do that. So like whatever competitive element in Diablo 4 is there, not saying I wouldn't participate in it, but I won't make my brand around it, if that makes sense. So, and it's worked out pretty well, honestly. I refuse to do any pit pushing, and people have been, for the most part, fine with me not pushing pits. So, I would say successful in that. I mean, people want to see me push pits, but I just refuse to. So I will see you pretty early tomorrow, pig. And get some rest. You got some work to do. If you only answered my question before, I totally would have showed it. Uh huh. Exactly. Jimmy, what's up? You were on YouTube today? Someone paged me. He's got to wake up super early tomorrow. If chat ever tells you to push, just put on salt and pepper. I wonder if I even have that song on my playlist. You know what? I'm gonna check it right now. Gotta go back online with my playlist. I don't have it on my playlist. What? Wow. Fail. Fail, bro. I can't feel I had it on my playlist. All right, well, we fixed that just now. Okay, well, I guess I'll just let that play then, and then I'll go back to my original playlist now that Esbet is in there. I thought about. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think I've heard that song. Like on my playlist, like from like while streaming, I have not heard that song while streaming. I'm like, wait a minute. That's where Miko. Casey and JoJo's innovations. I'll pay to turn this song off. This song? Psst, psst. Bruh. Classic.
I forge more than horseshoes and nails.
This is a family channel. This was like, turn it up. Do you remember Maya? Mia or Maya? I know of Mia from like a different, like. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. What about? From Ghetto Superstar? That's what you are. You mean more to me than some pork and beans. Is that how that goes? Tell Neil on that dies cheating or you quit that. You stop that, sir. Right now. Is it at least to have harmony? Actually, how many Casey and JoJo songs do I have on my playlist? Figure, what's going on? I don't know. So like, not that it matters right now or anything, but I guess when I go into PTR, it will. But no matter how I do the math, the math suggests that Fist of Fate and the Pit Fighter's goal is better. But I always have slightly better results with regular ring and regular gloves. How did Rain of Arrows go up for so long? Sky Hunter. Basically, I have an additional chance to. I have a chance to make the waves go again. So instead of 2 waves, I can go up to 4. All my life was covered by Koreans, really? I love covers, man. Like, especially like if like a good cover, a good band does like a cover of like a popular song. Like, I love those. That's actually how I end up discovering or running across Dirty Loops. Literally because of that. My hero, what's going on? The senior wallet has bad mother on it. Hey, can you explain the task speed to me? If I increase my task speed, does that increase how fast the rate of projectiles fired? No. More so how it kind of decreases the animation time. Kind of. It's probably the easiest way to say it. But like the waves don't go any faster or anything like that. But your cast time decreases. However, there are breakpoints in the game that is based off of 60 frames. So just because you increase your sheet attack speed does not necessarily mean that you will attack faster unless you reach a certain breakpoint. Alright. I'm going to try to see how 95s feel. Like, against the bosses, that is. Because the bosses are always the problem, really. To have HBO. They still exist. I know like last week tonight it's still on HBO, but that's really the only thing I've ever like watched on HBO in the recent. It's because I find John Oliver pretty hilarious most of the time. More so when he like, you know, like dares people to do things or say things or whatever. Like those are like the best episodes. It's a studio will go like overboard with something or whatever, and it's like so cool. You wouldn't notice the difference in their waves, but when I moved with task speed, I know that it felt slower. Yeah, it's the cast. It's the startup animation, basically. That's why in the build for Starless Skies, I recommend masterworking the attack speed so that the cast can feel a lot better. Is it against the rules to ask where you're from? Not really. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, but I don't live there now. But most of my family is up there. Well, not Brooklyn, but Staten Island and Queens more so. Dark Side is fake in New York. Is Rapid Fire Rogue to be squishy around pit 70, one-shot floor effects without very optimized gear? So if you're getting one-shot by floor effects at 70, I would just check your resistances, because that shouldn't be the case. It might be a resist thing. However, I will say that Rapid Fire is generally squishier than some of the other rogue builds because you can't keep up the barrier 100% of the time. Anytime that you don't have your barrier up, which is going to be quite a bit because it's Rapid Fire, then it's going to be a little harder. You got 100 armor, 1k armor, and max resistance. Yeah. Well, I mean, so your resistances are green in World Tier 4, Wishing Poo, just out of curiosity. Kill 'em all. What's up, man? I was trying to get back to you yesterday, but literally when I got home from working, I've literally just knocked out, went to bed, and then when I woke up, it was like 2:30 in the morning for me. So I was like, that's probably 11:30 at night for you. And I realized you were already gone by then. I was like, ah. You got 4k health. 4k health sounds like a bit low. What chest are you running? Oh, you're on 6k now. I guess the thing is that the ground effects or whatever shouldn't really be too big of an issue on 70, because you really shouldn't be standing still really on Rapid Fire. It should kind of always be in motion, like evading almost after every Rapid Fire anyways. So ground effects shouldn't really have time to kind of eat at your life like that. But yeah, Rapid Fire is squishier than the other rogue builds because you cannot keep up your barrier. So you can't like sit in it, I guess you could say. Like you can, like, let's say Rain of Arrows or Barrage or Heartseeker or whatever. So you found an issue with build from Maxroll on Diablo 3. Yeah, so what's up? What's wrong with it? Chances are, if it's very minor, they're probably not gonna fix it. Just gonna be honest. Like if it's major, Woody might take a look at it. If it's minor, they're probably not gonna bother with it. Yeah, I would take Rugged, unless you get blasted by a Nova or something. You missing Shroud of Frost to death. I guess a regular chest would be tankier than Shroud, though, in most cases. But yeah, Shroud would help your DPS output a ton. I'm not looking forward to having to use Shroud of Frost Death again next season, though. I don't really like the chests. Using Umbra's, that's because no expansion. Okay, that makes sense. Fair. Random subbing mode unlocked. All right. Cold Eddie for. So Rugged is at 3. Yeah. Well, just in that case, the only thing I think I can really offer you in terms of advice is concerned is either more health, to help mitigate some of that. Like, I would even take a what's the name of that potion? Don't even know the name of it because I hardly ever use it. It's a max life elixir. I don't forgot what it was called. Here it is. Fortitude. Yeah. I would go Fortitude as well and like roast another health or whatever. More health in like some places. But yeah, Rapid Fire is gonna be one of those you almost YOLO kind of builds. It's like you kill them before they kill you type situation. I'm not answering your question, anything. A Reddit member too, yeah. That too, yeah, sure. You can roll with that. I mean that works.
Yeah, have a wee gamble.
Anyone who doesn't know this is yeah. I mean, I usually kind of just ignore my health. I never know how much health I have. When people ask me, hey, how much life you have? I'm like, I don't know. People look at that on road. People look at that. I'm just such a glass cannon player that I kind of just like I put life on places where I can get it for free, and then that's it. So it's very different from Overpower and Aircraft. Oh yeah, of course. Overpower builds in general are gonna have a different feel to it, but yeah, Rapid Fire being combo point based is definitely gonna feel different. Yeah, combo points is probably gonna make its way back into some of the top builds again. Just because they buffed the combination dagger. Mid-season patch or whatever. And with the way that the new precision is gonna work now, you can't like jank it like we used to and do 2-to-1 rotations or whatever. Or like precision intersight builds or precision preparation builds aren't gonna exist in the way that it does now, kind of. I think really only Barrage is really the only one that has like a precision based setup that isn't combo points. But that combination dagger is like hard to not take. Want to take, especially if the Shadow Clone also gets the benefits too from it as well. Like, For the best build so far in the game. Highest DPS, fastest clears. Well, I mean, anything Spiritborn related, basically. All the best builds in the game are basically on Spiritborn. By far. Like there's nothing even close. So if you're just looking for the absolute most numbers you can see on the screen, or the biggest numbers you can see on the screen, then it's gonna be Spiritborn. One of 4 different builds on Spiritborn, 4 or 5 different builds on Spiritborn. What's my thoughts on Barrage? Can I get a? Can you go into just a little bit more detail? Like as like the skill itself, like does it like design wise, strength wise, like. Because I've played Barrage many different ways this season. Thunder Eagle, you fell for it. You fell for it, Thunder Eagle. It's okay. He's convincing until he's not. Right? Evident Pig. Man. The Juggernaut, what's up, man? I see you there. Like, is it better than Rain of Arrows or not at all? No. But I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be if you like the skill. Like if you like Barrage, I mean, it's still a good skill. You can play with it. Victimize. You can play with the precision. I actually prefer doing Nightmare Dungeons with Barrage, with Precision Barrage. Victimized Barrage feels a little wonky to me a little bit still. But it is still pretty strong, but Rain of Arrows is DPS wise is stronger. What aspect did I replace Pit Fighter's Ring for? Should be Retribution. You should, I think, according to the planner, you only have room for 2 offensive aspects, and both of those are Arrow Stormers related. So really, you shouldn't even have like Conceited nor Retribution. With the Flurry build, does a crossbow or bow make that much of a difference? No, it doesn't. Normally, I would just suggest you just do bow, so that for your cow traps or whatever, plants faster. What do you think is gonna be fun to play in the PTR? Rain of Arrows, because apparently, you know, it's got a little bit of a rework, so I'm actually excited to see how that works out. I'm excited to see how this whole range rogue thing that they're trying to do, or trying to make a thing with the new passive. Because you guys know how I like my range play stuff, so I'm wondering, can we actually play range, and is it worth it this time around? And then of course Shadow Clone, obviously. Is it really gonna be good this time? Like, everything is suggesting that it will be very good, but something is telling me that it's probably gonna end up being in almost every build if it's actually good. So you'll find Shadow Clone in like legit every rogue build in some way, shape, or form, with a bunch of like cooldown reduction just to have it up almost permanently, right? Because I mean, if you can nearly double your output by having a clone out there, you know, why wouldn't you, right? in every build. So you'll sacrifice some gear damage just to have the clone out longer. So we'll see. I think the only builds that won't be able to use Shadow Clone as an ultimate would be other ultimate builds like Rain of Arrows and Death Trap, right? Like Shadow's Grasp will also cast a Shadow Clone, but it won't be like the ultimate of the clone or whatever. But I almost think every build is gonna have Shadow Clone in some or involved in some way, whether on the bar or through the gloves or both. Sell kittens with a gift to Rare State. Rare State? Where did Rare State come from? I didn't know Rare State was actually welcome. Rare State gets no love here. No, medium rare cool. Medium rare cool, but rare? I don't know. I remember when I worked at a restaurant, like when I started at a steakhouse before, there was this guy who could only eat rare steak. He could not eat, like, he couldn't eat it like cooked any like higher than that because of a condition with his stomach or whatever. Like he had to eat rare steak. Or he had to eat the steak rare. Literally, he said just enough to brown it on both sides, and that's it. Like just enough to where it turns like brown on both sides. It's like that's all you want. So like it's even like rarer than rare. But he says he didn't have a choice. Like he literally could not eat it. His preferred. Oh, this is gonna be a long fight because his mother's judgment. God, I hate mother's judgment so much. Yep, knew it. She and maybe Blood Bishop or whatever. Bramble maybe are the reasons why I can't do speed 95s. Literally like those 2 or 3 bosses. I never got into like porterhouses, to be honest with you. I guess because I don't really too much care for like the New York strip part of it, basically, because it's basically a strip in the fillet. Strip on one side, fillet on the other. And I'd rather just have my ribeye. Ribeye is best cut. I agree. You know what's funny, Jack? Tell your server you want your steak still mooing. Man, I used to hear that all the time, but from the opposite direction, where it's kind of like if they say that they see any blood, which I really want to go into that's a whole different topic that I don't want to go down into, but in terms of what actually is happening with your steak. But anyways, they'll say, yo, my steak is still mooing or whatever, and just like, well, tell her to shut up then. You know, I'm just saying. I mean, why are you telling me? Nah, but like yeah, that term was thrown around a lot, but more so for people who wanted to get it cooked longer. My fam eats raw hamburgers. I can't do that. Now I do like hamburgers medium, as well. But not a lot of places can really get it cooked medium or won't allow you to get it cooked medium. Obviously, fast food places is one of them, right? Like they have to do it well done. They don't have a choice. I would prefer that it doesn't make me regret choices. No blood, so they want it to be all dried out. Yeah, like you know, like hockey pucks. You just basically have different size hockey pucks at that point. I went for a walk the other day and saw a steak on the pavement and thought to myself, that's pretty. Wow. Have the biggest like what the other day. I don't know though. Isn't Australia pretty like no, you live in New Zealand, right? Isn't that usually kind of like a hotter climate? So would the steak really be rare at that point? Australia. Okay, I'm sorry. It's one of the two. It's like right there. It's a pretty like, you know, more like, you know. I was a place last summer that brings the steak out raw and you cook it yourself on a super hot something. Yeah, I would love that, man. I didn't get it mainly because I'm not paying to cook it yourself. Well, I mean, I think that's kind of the experience though. Like melting pot, some other like Japanese restaurant, like Korean like steakhouses are great for that. Where basically they just supply you the meat and then you kind of just do your own thing with it. You know, I mean they still season it for you and you know some of the meat is aged and stuff like that, like to I guess perfection or whatever. So at that point, you're kind of paying for the experience versus paying for them to like cook, you know, the meal for you per se. I almost kind of, in some ways, prefer that, but because then you know, like if I fuck it up, then it's my fault. I can't complain to management if I fuck my own steak up, right? You also can't get a refund. I mean, you could say you found a. I don't know. Why didn't you stop me from screwing my food? Right. But like, yeah, it's the same thing though. I think the ego. It's probably not really the. I don't really have a good analogy for that. But like when I say it's about the experience, it's really about the experience, right? Like for instance, like when you go to a bar and you know, you buy beer at a bar, it's way more expensive. And you're literally paying the bartender to do exactly what you could have did at home. Right? You're tipping the bartender and you're paying, I mean, completely marked up prices for the product. That is way cheaper if you just would have bought it from the store, but you're doing it for the experience, right? Because even though you know it's way more expensive to, you know, buy your alcohol at the restaurant, right? And just the alcohol, if that's what you're going to have to do, you do it anyways because the experience, right? Oh, this is going to be a long one too. Matthias, what's going on, man? Have I seen the potential overpowered DT build? No, I haven't heard. I haven't really been hearing anything on a DT, on a D4 front in the recent. I haven't really been paying attention, but like, I've been kind of like taking it easy the past like week and a half, 2 weeks. But yeah, tell me about it. Is that for next season, you mean, or is that like a thing that is sort of possible now? Oh, next season. Okay, gotcha. I have a strong stomach. I can never die. Full disclosure, my son works for a steakhouse, so we get hooked up when we go. I don't get badly cooked steaks. Is he a cook or? Because I mean, the only way that like you can not get or to always get your steaks cooked correctly is if he's a cook. He's a waiter. All right, so he must either be in good with the cooks, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I've been a waiter for, I stopped 2 years ago, but I was a waiter for 18 years, 17 years as a side job to teaching. I'm gonna tell you this, usually the kitchen cares the least about employees feel, like employee food. Like employee food is something that they tend to care less about, like the cooks or whatever. So unless you're in good with one of the kitchen staff, which is usually not the case. Usually, I'm not saying usually not the case. If you've been there long enough and you're in good with the cooks or whatever, then like you'll get hooked up for sure. But generally speaking, from I worked at like 9-10 different restaurant chains or whatever. There's always animosity between like the front of the house and back of the house, always. Let's say a really well run restaurant, they're in the top 10 sales in the country every year. Where do you live? Dusty Tone, yeah, you know it. And it's not, it's like not even like, it's not even like on purpose. It's just the way it is. Like front of the house versus back of the house has always been, it's always a thing. And like, it's not that we want to hate each other per se. It's just that's just how the culture is. You walk into it and it's just is what it is. And then eventually you end up learning to like certain people in the back of the house, or back of the house end up liking certain people in the front of the house. But when it's busy, all hands off, man. But I've learned to there's like there's usually like one or two cooks that I will always get in good with every shift, because when shit gets like really, really busy and like, you know, things are gonna mess up, whether it's, you know, recooks are gonna have to happen, or something happened, or something didn't come out right, guest complaint like that, you know, I can go to them and they'll get that taken care of for me quickly and won't have an attitude about it. Whereas anyone else, any other time with anyone else, it's always our fault because the guests complain, or or the other way around. It's always the kitchen's fault. If the guests ordered exactly what they wanted, but they don't like it. It's a Longhorn. I used to work at Longhorns. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I know all about the restaurant. I used to work at Longhorns for about 4 years. That's like the only that and T-Bones were the two steakhouses that I worked at before. You played disc golf with one of the managers as well. Okay, so you had that contact then. Like you're in there. They make sure that you're taken care of. But yeah, I worked at Longhorns for a bit. I still remember when Darden bought Longhorns, and I was really really happy about that because that meant that at the time I was working at Olive Garden, and I was really wanting that that 25% discount for up to 8 people or whatever at any point in time, no matter the day or whatever. So like I was so happy when Darden bought out Longhorn. And then of course when I worked there, I ate good. Not even gonna lie. You have to give you a discount even when you're saying yep. That's how Darden does it. I haven't been the biggest fan of Darden in like the recent or whatever, but back when Darden still owned Red Lobster, I felt like it was I kind of like the brand a lot. They kind of end up selling most of their casual-ish type brands to go into more upscale market stuff. And at that point, and then they end up casualizing Olive Garden, which I don't know why they did that. We used to wear like the white shirt and ties or whatever, and then they could change the uniforms to all black and like the music to some pop music instead of Italian music. They even took the wine glasses off the table at like most of the restaurants. I'm just like, why would you do that? I mean, this is like years ago. I'm talking about like 12, 13 years ago when they did. So like when I say that, I'm not saying that recent, but like since I worked there, they made it casual back in like the about a decade ago. But then Darden started focusing on more on the upscale chains like 6 or 7 years ago, selling out Smoky Bones, selling Red Lobster to I forgot the name of that group. Which is really crazy that they did it to Red Lobster. I still to this day don't 100% understand, since that was Darden's first real restaurant in a sense, and it wasn't doing bad at the time. And I know because I used to work for Red Lobster when it was Darden. So that was kind of crazy to me that they kind of sold that off. Anyways, yeah, I can talk about that forever, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to bore anybody with restaurant. You discount Capital Grill too. Yep, that's Darden. Bro, this is a bad run. It's someone said you worked at a bartender and waited for years. They actually asked me to bartend. I chose not to. I just couldn't see myself really bartending. I think I could have did pretty well as a bartender, but not to mention though, like I guess when I was asked to do bartending or whatever, it was at one of the Darden restaurants I worked at the time, and Darden restaurants was not the place you really wanted to bartend at. Like if you really want to make money bartending, don't do it at one of the casual Darden restaurants. Like don't do the Olive Garden, or at the time Red Lobster when it used to be Darden. Don't do the Longhorn. Don't do it, don't do it at Smoky Bones or whatever. Like if you're gonna bartend, you need to go. You definitely want to go somewhere else for that. That was part of the reason why I didn't want to. Do I know when the PTR planner will be available for Maxroll? When generally I think whenever we get whenever the patch is available, because there's the source code isn't really there for him to pull from until the patch is like able to be downloaded. So like the way that our dev tools work is a bit different than others. I mean, ours is very accurate when it happens, but like we need the source code to do it. So we need the information from the actual like patch to be able to update the PTR planners. Anonymous gifter with the sub. The gifted sub, sorry, I appreciate it. The PTR install updated tonight. Well, the installer updated, right? Not the patch. Because from what I know, I don't think there's going to be a preload for it, for the patch. However, the base take I've ever had was at the Palm down at Universal Studios last Christmas when we were down there. I've never been there. Okay, chat, I wasn't kidding. I should have had Thunder Charges. They said Thunder Eagles in charge now. Decoy, what's up, man? Hey, yo, Decoy, you didn't come in with your with your intro. Wait, did you even do it? No, you didn't even do it. Who are you? Who is this guy? It's an imposter. Someone.
Potato,
there he is.
Potato,
I was wondering. I'm like.